horribly, horribly wrong. Yep, yep, sure. It's all it takes is a duck to kill the shot. Right now, folks, we are about to round the corner. Take a look off to your left-hand side. This is a section of our lot called Little Europe, and it's called that because we can make it any European area that we want simply by changing the language on the signs. Little Europe was used on the TV show True Blood, and one of my personal favorites, Curb Your Enthusiasm. And it was also used in all 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Those movies are all from Walt Disney Productions. They're all based on the popular attraction at that other place. And they all star Johnny Depp, Jeffrey Rush. Sorry, I had to say that last name real fast, otherwise the teenage girls go gaga goo goo and I lose them for 10 minutes. Yeah, go ahead and laugh, you guys. I'm not scraping another 15-year-old off the ceiling with a chisel. It's an experience you only have to live through once. Now, getting back to Universal Studios, which is why we're all here, you can't talk about Universal Studios, especially Little Europe, without talking about monster movies. What? All right, look, I know I don't look like Orlando Bloom or Brad Pitt or anybody like that, but come on, that's a little over. Anyway, right now we have a real treat in store for you. We are taking you inside of a working soundstage. This is soundstage number 50 that we have coming up. And this is a unique one, too, because it's the only 2-story soundstage in Hollywood. On the bottom half, which is what we're going to be looking at, we've recreated a subway scene, and on the top half, we have recreated a street scene, and that is what we call a Steadicam shot. That's where we can have the camera following the actors up the steps and onto the street, and it would look very realistic. In fact, some of you will know our folks can come out. Already, folks, come right. Who's already come again? Remain seated. Wait, the big one. Here's how that really looks on the TV show Bones. Check it
What's going on? Let's get out of here! The water main just broke!
Now, one of the biggest questions that I get when people come here, especially for the first time, is usually, where's the shark? Now, normally what I say to these people is if you want to see sharks, go to SeaWorld. This is a movie studio, not an aquarium. However, today I do have a shark to show you. It's right over here on your right, and you look disappointed. You probably wanted a live one. Oh, no. Tell me that's not what I think it is out there in the water. Oh, come on. How many sharks do we have in this pond? Anyway, you know what? Well, let me get that guy out of the water. Hang on, there's a guy in there. Hey, dude! Get out of there, man. There's a shark out there. What's the matter with you, you nut? What, do you want to get killed? Oh, what the? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, that guy had guts. And there they are. Obviously, our guy's probably about a shark, not the shark. Please stay seated, everybody. Please stay seated, thank you. Taking a look out in the middle of the lake, we have a yellow buoy out there with some bait attached to it. Let's see if the shark takes the bait. He's got the bait, and the dock as well. Hang on, everybody. There's some you don't see every day, unless, of course, you're me. Got the right-hand side of the tram. Shark! Please stay seated, folks. The tram is moving. Well, you just survived an encounter with Bruce, the mechanical shark from Jaws. And I know what a lot of you are probably thinking. Boy, that shark looked cheesy and fake up close, didn't it? So tell me something. What was it all that screaming back there, huh? Actually, that shark is far more reliable and sophisticated than the one that was used in the movie. If you don't believe me, well, just ask Mr. Spielberg.
That's a much line shark. The shark was frustrated. It didn't really work at the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio reads. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. The shark worked well enough. For a while there, it had to be successful. So I really owe the shark a lot.
Isn't that a great shot? By the way, gang, did you know that Bruce the Jaws shark was actually named after Steven Spielberg's lawyer? Yes, indeed. No, he was not named after the shark from Finding Nemo. Our Bruce came first. Now, there's a modestly successful little TV show on ABC right now, which you may or may not have heard of. It's a mere trifle of a show. A little something called Desperate Housewives. Do we have any Desperate Housewives fans in the tram today? One lady raised her hand kind of timidly. Okay, well, ladies, let me explain something. Watching Desperate Housewives doesn't mean you are one. It just means you watch a show. Whether you watch it or not, whether you admit you watch it or not, get your cameras ready. We are about to turn on to Wisteria Lane. That's right. Now, these houses weren't always used for Desperate Housewives. They've actually been standing here for a number of years. Take, for instance, on your left-hand side, Gabrielle's house, this orange one. That was also Jimmy Stewart's house from the movie Harvey. Right next door, this lavender house, the one that Bob and Lee live in, that was also 1313 Mockingbird Lane, the home of the Munsters. And right next door to that, Susan's house, this yellow one coming up on your left, that was the Hardy Boys' house. Parker Stevenson and Sean Cassidy was there. Over here on your right-hand side, Bree's house, the one with the brick pathway. That was the Hanson home from Providence. And on your left-hand side, Lynette's house, that's the green one on your left, that was Ronald Reagan's house from the movie Bedtime for Bonzo. Now, this is just me, folks, but I think that Bedtime for Bonzo should be required viewing in school history classes because think about it. Where else? Where else do you get to see a United States president get mashed potatoes flung in his face? If you don't believe me, watch the movie. It happens. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with Desperate Housewives, both of you, here's a quick primer. Check this out.
The next morning, Edie Britt decided to announce her return to Wisteria Lane.
Okay, you're not going to believe this, but she's back. Edie, is that really you? You know someone else my age was bloody like this?
It always gets stuck there. I don't know why it always gets stuck right there. It's just, oh well, I guess we're going to have to stare at Edie in a bathing suit washing a car for the rest of the tour. Oh, man. Young man, I hope your girlfriend's not on the tram right now. Let's just say I've seen game show hosts with smaller grins and having to give this thing a smack.
Ну, не знаю.
Well, what happened to your tenant? He came into some money and decided to move. He thought, what the heck? Let's move back. We? Oh, you don't know. I have a husband now. Really?
Oh, see? Yeah, this is Edie we're talking about here now. You know who lives... Hi, guys. You know who lives just up the hill from the Desperate Housewives? Try the Desperate Who's Wives, as in Wives of the Who's, as in the Who's, from Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Here to tell us, bless you, here to tell us a little more about the Grinch is the film's director, Oscar winner, Ron Howard.
One of the biggest creative challenges that we faced on How the Grinch Stole Christmas was to bring the storybook world of Dr. Seuss to life. Some of the most talented artists in Hollywood worked for months to create a living, breathing Whoville. When it was all done, they had built an entire city. And the fantasy world of Dr. Seuss became a reality.
Thank you very much, Ron. That movie is currently available on DVD. And hey, look at that. Look where we just happened to end up. Coming up over here on your left-hand side, soon to be on your right-hand side as you round the corner, it's Whoville from The Grinch. Now, The Grinch starred, of course, Jim Carrey, co-stars Jeffrey Tambor from The Larry Sanders Show, and Christine Baranski from Mamma Mia. And The Grinch was narrated by Sir Anthony Hopkins, who actually, believe it or not, makes an appearance in the movie, munching on roast beast with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. I'm kidding. All he does is narrate the film. He doesn't appear in it. He is best known, however, for appearing as the psycho killer Hannibal Lecter in that famous trilogy of movies. But right now, I think we need to talk about a different kind of psycho. I think we need to talk about Alfred Hitchcock's kind of psycho. Coming up over here on your right is the Bates Motel with the famous Psycho House right behind it. And I don't know what that guy's doing. Anyway, folks, we're going to pause here for just a minute, and we're going to let you get some pictures of this world-famous set, and you can, Photoshop out Whoville if you have to, because let's face it, if you have Whoville in the background, it kind of kills the effect, so you want to try and get rid of that if you can. And okay! Now, folks, if this were Halloween Horror Nights, I would not be shocked. But the fact is, it's August. Nothing happens in August. Sir, I know August is a boring month, but I think you went a little overboard. Well, okay, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that was Norman Bates over there. I'm a little freaked out by this thing. Yeah, you know what, Jade, we've overstayed our welcome. Might be a good idea if we checked out of the Bates Motel. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, folks, keep your arms and legs inside. If you lose a limb, it just creates more paperwork for me. Folks, please stay seated. There you go. And now, folks, coming up is one of the most impressive movie sets ever built. The spectacular crash site from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. We're going to take you right into the heart of this colossal set, and we're actually going to stop the tram specifically so that you can stand up and get some amazing shots. So hang on tight, everybody, and have those cameras ready. Now, this amazing set is what remains of the neighborhood where Tom Cruise hides out in the movie. And yes, folks, that is a real plane that was destroyed just for this scene. Okay, folks, we are now stopped. You may now stand up, get as many shots as you'd like. And now, here's production designer Rick Parker.
Airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the War of the Worlds, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. That's me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Just got them closed? Robbie, get in.
Get in. Alrighty, folks. Now, how many of you have seen Jurassic Park 3? Show of hands. JP3? Alrighty, take a look right behind the airplane tail on your left. You might catch a glimpse of one of the InGen lab buildings from Jurassic Park 3. And here's a little something to snack on, folks. That building was sitting there the entire time they were making War of the Worlds. Just to keep that in the back of your heads the next time you watch War of the Worlds.
Now, folks, I want you to get your cameras ready because we're turning on to Bing Crosby Drive. Coming up over here on your right-hand side We have a log cabin that was used in the great outdoors, starring John Candy and Dan Aykroyd.
Thanks for indulging me. Right behind the log cabin over there on your right is Falls Lake. There's no water in it, but trust me, it is a lake. And it was built in 1987 for the movie Jaws the Revenge, starring Michael Caine and Lorraine Gary. It was later used in Jurassic Park 3 with Sam Neill, The Hulk with Eric Bana, Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks, Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman, Bruce Almighty with Jim Carrey, and Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, starring George Clooney and a cow. Moo. And you know, filmmaking has advanced a lot in the last decade thanks to computer-generated imagery, otherwise known as CGI. So with CGI, we can sink the Titanic, bring back dinosaurs from extinction, have a dog do its business on cue, or even turn Andy Serkis into a grumpy monkey. And one of our biggest films to use CGI was The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. Here to tell us a little bit more about The Mummy is the film's director, Steven Sommers.
I'm Steven Sommers, the writer-director of The Mummy. When I began this project, I knew it was going to be a challenging shift.
Well, that's very nice, Stephen, but right now we are approaching a section of our lot where we shot some of The Mummy. Now, the last thing to shoot in here was a Whoopi Goldberg movie, but here's the thing. Whoopi and the entire crew vanished without a trace. We still don't know what happened to them. But it looks like we're going to find out. I just got to look at our driver, Jade. He's got spirals in his eyes. I think he's fallen under the Mummy's spell. Girls, you better hold on to your boyfriends. We're heading into the Mummy's tomb. By the way, folks, you don't need your 3D glasses in here. Uh-oh, someone robbed the coffin. Oh, man, scarab beetles. Seems to be the lilies. Oh, boy. Congratulations, folks! You just survived the curse of the Mummy's tomb. And why are you all staring at me? What, is there something on my face? What are you looking at me like that for? What? No, I'm okay. You're okay. Everybody's okay. Whoopi's okay. Jimmy's okay. Jimmy! Dude, speak to us!
Well, I can't believe it. We've made it to the end of our tour, you guys. How about
Peter?
And
Jay!
Weren't they the best? Hey, before we go, I'd like to sing you a little song I made up. I was just 5 years old. It's called Tramtastic. We had a real good time together. Now the ride is done. We saw some crazy cool stuff. And we had a lot of fun. This tram has made its final stop. But don't be sad and blue, 'cause there's still one more thing that I'd like to say to you. Have a tram-tastic day. Have a tram-tastic night. Watch your step as you exit the tram, and everything will be alright. Come on, have a tram-tastic day. Have a tram-tastic night. Just watch your step Okay, have a tram-tastic day. Have a tram-tastic night. Watch your step as you exit the tram. Everything will be alright. Yeah! Thank you for coming to the Universal Tour, everybody. Get home safe. Tram-tastic day.
Alrighty, folks, I want to show you a few things over here on the valley, over here on your right-hand side. A lot of what you're seeing out there is the town of Burbank. Those big tan barn-like buildings in the distance are our neighbors, the Warner Brothers. If you ever watched Animaniacs and you were growing up, you might recognize the Water Tower, home to Yakko, Wacko, and their sister Dot. Also down there in Burbank is the Walt Disney Studios. You can't really see them, but they are down there. And NBC4, which is our local affiliate here in LA. That's where Jay Leno does The Tonight Show, among other things. Now, some people like to ask me, can you see the Hollywood sign from here? The answer is no, you cannot. It's on the other side of that mountain on the right there. That's Mount Lee. However, if you were to get in a helicopter and go up and over the Hollywood sign and go behind it, this is what you'd see, Burbank. In fact, you might even recognize... You can't see the Hollywood sign from here, unfortunately, but what you can see is the Burbank B. See that letter B in the mountains there? That stands for Burbank. A lot of the smaller towns here in Southern California like to put just the first letter of their town up in the mountain, I guess so you don't get lost. But there's a B in Burbank, a G in Glendale, an M in Monrovia, a D in Duarte. And if you watch the movie Cars, when Lightning McQueen goes to Radiator Springs, there's an RS in the mountains for that. Radiator Springs. Now, you might also recognize a golf course down there. That is the Lakeside Country Club. A lot of golf aficionados like to ask me if that's part of our property. The answer is, again, no, it is not. That place was actually founded in the 1920s by a bunch of actors who wanted to play golf where they wouldn't be looked down upon by the upper crust, because at that time, acting was considered a lowly profession. And you're probably thinking, wait a minute, acting, lowly, how many gajillions of dollars did they get for a movie? Well, that's today. See, back in the 20s, about half the actors on film were living from hand to mouth and getting hit in the face with pies on a regular basis. So it was a little different than it is now. Nowadays, ironically enough, that is one of the most exclusive golf courses in the country. We're talking 2 arms and 2 legs for 9 holes, and that's if you're a member. And if you want to hit an actor with a pie, you generally have to pay them extra. I'm not kidding, folks. The Screen Actors Guild, which is the union that regulates actors on film, that they count getting hit with a pie as a stunt. So you get stunt pay for that. Pretty cool, huh? Now, we are nearing the end of our time together, obviously, and most movies in the 1990s, most comedies anyway, would end it with a gag reel, and we are going to do no different. Here's the Universal Studios gag reel.
Hey, son, Paige.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Good, they're rolling through. Yes, start over.
We can't get no rep around the leg hole. That ain't funny. Hey!
Owen Wilson cracked up Robert De Niro. Not everyone can say they're able to do that. We're not nearing the end of our time together. If you have any questions or if you just want to come on up and say hi, I'll be standing at the front of the tram waiting to answer your questions. Once again, my name is Peter. Our driver's name is Jade. We want to thank you all for riding the studio tour today. You have been a wonderful audience, a fantastic audience, if you will. Also want to thank our annual pass holders for joining us today. Now, if you're not an annual pass holder and you want to become one, stop by the Hollywood Ticket Outlet. It's located right near the Blues Brothers stage. They'll be glad to show you how you can apply your general admission price towards the cost of an annual pass. It's a great deal, gets you in the park free for a whole year. If you still have your 3D glasses with you, do us a favor, throw them in the big blue recycling bins we have in the unload area. They are just for 3D glasses. They are not for trash. Enjoy the rest of your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. And as we say here in Hollywood, that is a wrap. So long, everybody.